Hello everyone, today in this video we are going to talk about the cross product of two vectors. So after this video you should be able to define what is cross product, calculate the cross product of two vectors and give some examples of cross product. So when we get scalar on multiplying two vectors, we call it dot product. And if we get the vectors on multiplying two vectors, we call it cross product. So this is the definition of cross product. So suppose you have vector A and vector B, and if theta is the smaller angle between them, then the cross product of A and B is given by A cross B, and which is equal to the magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector into the sine of smaller angle between them. Smaller angle means this side. If you take the angle of this side, it will be the bigger angle, so it has to be sine of smaller angle and n cap. As it is a vector product, so we should get one direction, so this n cap will give the direction and a b sine theta will give us the magnitude. So this is the formula for cross product. A cross B is equal to AB sine theta n cap. So if you want to find the magnitude, that time we don't have this direction, so I can write A cross B magnitude is equal to AB sine theta, and the direction of this n cap is given by right hand thumb rule, and this n is perpendicular to both A and B. So suppose this is A vector and this is B vector, and this is the angle between them, which is theta. Now let's see how to use right hand thumb rule. So I have to find A cross B. So in order to find A cross B, I have to crawl my fingers, four fingers of right hand from A to B from the smaller angle. So whatever the direction thumb will show is the direction of A cross B or n cap. So this is the direction. Now if you want to find B cross A, that time you have to curl your finger from B to A. So out here you can see, on curling the finger from B to A from smaller angle, the direction will be downward. So B cross A is downward. So out here you can see A cross B is upward, B cross A is downward. So in vector product, A cross B and B cross A are not equal. So now let's see how to use right hand thumb rule. Suppose you want to find A cross B. So in order to find A cross B, you have to point towards the direction of vector A by your four fingers, and you have to curl the finger towards the B, then thumb will show the direction of A cross B. So this is the method. You can copy the method, and out here you can see A cross B is upward, B cross A is downward. So now let's find out how much is I cross I. So we know the formula A cross B is AB sine theta. Out here A is I, B is also I. So this is the formula. I cross I is equal to magnitude of I into magnitude of I into sine theta and n cap. So the magnitude of I is 1 because I is unit vector, and the angle between I and I is 0 because both, this is the angle between both x-axis, because one I is also in x direction, another I is also in x direction. So this will give 1 into 1 sine 0, and sine 0 is 0, so you will get I cross I is equal to 0. So similarly, if you do J cross J, you will get 0, and K cross K is also 0. Same procedure, because angle between I and I, J and K will be always 0. Now let's find I cross J. So same formula. So magnitude of I and magnitude of J is 1 because they are unit vectors, and the angle between I and J is 90 degree. So I can write this to be 90 degrees. So sine 90 is 1. So you are left with I cross J is equal to n cap. Now you have to find the direction of n cap using right hand thumb rule. So I have to curl my finger from I to J. So if you do go from I to J, then you will get the direction of n, that is towards the K. So I can write using right hand thumb rule. So the n is equal to K cap because they have same direction and same magnitude. So I can write n cap is equal to K cap. So I cross J is K. So similarly we can find other relations also. So this we have already found out, I cross j is k. So similarly, to remember this formula, you can make use of this diagram. So you have to write I, j and k in clockwise direction, and if you multiply in clockwise direction, like I into j is k, j into k is I, and k into I is j. If you go in anti-clockwise direction, you will get negative. If you do j cross I is minus k, I cross k is minus j, k cross j is minus I. So if you remember this diagram, it will be very easy for you to remember this diagrams. And I cross I, j cross j and k cross k is always 0. But in dot product, I dot I was 1 and other things were 0. So you have to remember that. So now let's calculate the cross product of two vectors. I'll tell you the method how to find the cross product. So in order to find a cross b, I have to make this determinant, draw two lines, and you have to copy I, j, k at the top. And then if you are finding a cross b, then you have to write the coefficient of a first. So I'm copying ax, ay, az, then b. If it is b cross a, then you have to write the coefficients of b first and a afterwards. But out here we are finding a cross b, so I'll write a first, b second. So now I have to solve this determinant. To solve this determinant, I'll write this I first, then I'll cancel the row and column with this I. So I'll copy this 4 elements in another determinant. Minus j, so minus j comes from the format or formula, so I should not write plus out here. So then I'll cancel the row and column with j, and I'll copy this 4 element out here. And then again, so it will be formula is plus minus plus, plus I minus j plus k. So again I'll cancel the row and column of k, and I'll copy this thing. Now I have to solve this. So in order to solve this, I'll write one bracket and I at the end. So because I'm multiplying this with I, so I can write I at the end. So first I have to multiply this to aybz minus then azby. So first multiply this minus multiply this, and you'll get this. So similarly for j, I'll write axbz minus bxaz and plus k, and this is axby bxay. So you'll get this. So now this is the cross product. Now let's solve one problem. So out here a cross b will be, first I'll write ijk, then now I'll write the coefficients of a vectors, that is 1, 3 and 4, and coefficients of b vector is 2, 7, minus 5. So now I'll solve. So I'll cancel the row and column of I, then you'll get 3, 4, 7, minus 5 minus j, then I'll cancel this, you'll get 1, 4, 2 minus 5 plus k, and you cancel this, you'll get 1, 3, 2, 7. So now let's solve this. So it will be 3 into minus 5 minus 7 into 4 minus j, 1 into minus 5, 2 into 4 plus 1 into 7 minus 2 into 3 k. So if you solve this, you'll get minus 43i plus 13j plus k. So don't forget to write the caps out here, I forgot the caps. So this is the value for a cross b. So out here you can see I'm getting I, j and k, so that means it is a vector. So by multiplying two vectors, I'm getting another vector. So in dot product we don't get I, j and k, but in cross product we get I, j and k. So now let's find a cross a. How much is a cross a? So I'll solve a cross a using the same method I've told. So I think you understood this. So I'm getting 0i, 0j, 0k. Now let's find the angle between a and a. So we know A cross A is AA sine theta n cap. So in magnitude form I don't need to write n cap, so A cross A magnitude is A into A sine theta, but A cross A is 0, so I can write 0 is equal to A into A sine theta. So now if you take AA to the denominator, you will get sine theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to sine inverse 0. So theta is 0 degree. So that means if two if the cross product of two vector is 0, then two vectors are parallel. Parallel means they are going along the same direction and angle between them is 0. So you have to remember that whenever you get A cross B is equal to 0, then you have to understand that A and B are parallel, angle between them is 0. So now let's find the value of A for which these two vectors are parallel. So question is asking what is the value of A such that A and B are parallel. So this is A, this is B. So let's find A cross B, because if they are parallel, A cross B must be 0. So using the same method I can write this. So A cross B is 9 minus 9AI plus 3A minus 3K, and I will not have any 0 because 9 minus 9 is 0. So this is A cross B. So but we already know for parallel vectors A cross B is 0. It is already given they are parallel. So A cross B is 0. So now let's put the value. So magnitude of A cross B is, now I have to find the magnitude of this. So this is root over this square plus root over this square. Now I'll take the root over away and I'll take 9 common from here, 3 common from here. So I can take 1 minus A square common again. So if you take this to the denominator, you will get 1 minus A square is equal to 0. So now again I'll take this square this side and I'm left with 1 minus A is equal to 0. That means A is equal to 1. So if you put this A is equal to 1, then these two vectors will become parallel. So this is the similar question you can try. You have to find the value of this A for which these two vectors are parallel. Now let's find the angle between these two vectors. So in order to find the angle, we have to make use of this formula. So A cross B is equal to AB sine theta. So this is in magnitude form. I don't need to write n cap. So now sine theta is A cross B divided by AB. So this is the formula I'll be using. So first I have to find the magnitude of A, magnitude of B, and magnitude of A cross B. So let's find the magnitude of A first. So this is the magnitude of A. This is the magnitude of B, root over 24. So now A cross B. So using the same method, I can find A cross B, and A cross B is 8I minus 8J minus 8K. So let's find the magnitude. So magnitude will be 8 root 3. So now let's put the values and we'll get the angle. So A cross B is 8 root 3 and A and B is 24 root and 14 root. So if you solve this, you'll get 2 by root 7. So theta will be sine inverse 2 by root 7. So this is the angle between A and B. So now we will summarize the video. So A cross B means AB sine theta into n cap. N cap is the unit vector perpendicular to both A and B. And in magnitude form, I don't have this n cap. So magnitude of A cross B is AB sine theta. And the direction of A cross B or n cap is found out by using right hand thumb rule. I cross I is always 0, and if the cross product of two vector is 0, that means they are parallel, and this is the way to find A cross B. And this is how we remember the cross product of ij and k, and these are the real life examples. So torque is the cross product of force and position vector. Angular momentum is the cross product of position vector and linear momentum. Please cut this linear. By mistake I have written one more linear. and linear velocity is the cross product of angular velocity and position vector. So these are the examples of cross product. So these are the questions you can try. And this is the end of the video. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.